Now I'm going to read to you from my third novel called The Forgiving Kind, story of 12-year-old Sonny Creech growing up in Jones County, North Carolina in 1955, and the big lessons that she is forced to learn when a bigoted neighbor steps in to supposedly help the family out after they suffer a tragedy. I'm just going to read the very beginning here and give you a sense of Sonny Creech's love for her family's cotton farm. Daddy never wanted to do nothing much other than grow cotton, and the way he'd gone at it, we figured that would be the thing to kill him, but it wasn't. We got 300 acres in Jones County, North Carolina. First-rate land, he calls it. For a girl like me, meaning a girl who'd rather spend time outside more than anywhere else, there was no better place on earth. Some might think we're stuck out in the middle of nowhere, that what we have ain't no different than any other farm along Highway 58. I see things different. I see what he does. The way freshly plowed soil looks like that rich chocolate powder Mama uses for baking. How the leaves on a cotton plant are heart-shaped, and how on a sunny day, their vivid green color gets so intense you have to squint your eyes. There's these little buds on the cotton plants called squares, and when they bloom, they turn pale yellow like fresh cream. Within days, they go to a light pink and then a darker pink, self-pollinating. Daddy says, when our fields turn those different colors, I can't imagine how nobody wouldn't think it wasn't the prettiest sight they'd ever laid eyes on. In the spring, when trees have started to bud out and flowers reach for the sun, their sweet odor only beginning to drift on the air, we know it won't be long before cotton growing season has come again. The Fort Hill creeping phlox, Virginia spiderwort, and jonquils dare to emerge, while Mama's chestine gouty peonies begin to peek from the ground. Soon the yard plum bursts with colors too, always changing, always pretty. I like the hottest months, that time when a shimmery haze appears at the edge of the fields, looking like water. In the fall, tiny fluffy white clouds of cotton come, and we're in an entirely different world by then, with everything dying off and such. Even the coats of deer and squirrels change, turning mostly gray so they blend with the trees and bushes. All of us, Daddy, Mama, Ross, Trent, and me, we're required to work real hard, hitching burlap bags over our shoulders, picking the cotton from dawn to dusk fast as we can. School allows a break so anyone growing, which is most everybody, can get their fields picked. Afterward, the stalks get plowed under, and the land that was already flat looks even flatter. For instance, I can see a crow land in a tree a mile from our front yard. I can see someone driving down Turtle Pond Road toward our house minutes before they get here. That's why our little town's name suits this place. Flatland is where we live. Our farmhouse is painted snowy white like the cotton we pick, with a dark green tin roof. It's split right down the middle by what's called a dog trot. The kitchen and living room set off to one side, and the bedrooms and a bathroom are on the other. The two sugar maples at each corner in the front and a big oak tree in the backyard offer shade from a sweltering summer sun. Our land stops where Turtle Pond Road dead ends in a thick row of long-leaf pines lined up like a natural fence. Beyond them are woods so dense and thick, during the warm months you can't see over to Frank Fowler's place, the only neighbor for miles and miles around. The only other thing visible sets off to the east, the small silvery shape of the water tower that catches sunlight just so at certain times of the year. Daddy said I appreciate the land like him, and while Ross is most like Daddy, Trent has got a wild streak long as the entire county. He absolutely hates farming. Daddy said the land soaked into me the way the blood soaks into wood, a permanent, everlasting mark. 3 years ago, when I was 9, he placed an old willow branch in my hands and showed me how to do what he's been doing since I can remember, something he calls divining water. Turned out I could do this too. Since then, my attachment to the land beneath me has grown even more. I ain't never forgot how it felt or how he'd looked either, like a cotton bowl about to burst open, all filled up with pride.